Welcome back everyone. Today's video will be a tutorial on how I made the geometric shapes that you've seen either on my Facebook or my Instagram. I did pick one of the shapes and that's what I'll be showing you today. You will need barbecue skewers, scissors, a hot glue gun, a pen, and a ruler or something to measure the barbecue skewers with. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. So with a black pen, I go through and I measure the lengths that I need for my figure. For this specific figure, you need 4 9cm pieces, 4 8cm pieces, and 4 14cm pieces. The 9cm piece makes the square, which is where you begin, and the 8cm makes the bottom part that connects. The 14cm makes the long top portion of the figure. Once you've made all your markings, you will use your scissors, and where you see the markings, you will slowly cut around. You don't want to cut all the way through because you'll send pieces flying. So just cut halfway through and twirl your barbecue skewer around as you cut. And once you do that, you can kind of break it off with your hand, as you can see here. So now that we have all of our lengths cut out, it's time to pull out your glue gun. I don't recommend plugging it in before this step because you start wasting glue as it starts warming up. So now you want to lay out your 9cm skewers and you want to make the shape of a square. This is how I glue them together. Of course, you can glue them together however you find easier for you, or use whatever glue you find easiest. But this is what's been working for me for all the shapes that I've made. So I glue them together this way. It's really important that you get the correct angle and you don't glue them lopsided, which is why I lay them out first. One trick that I did learn is, one, don't put a lot of glue because it looks really clumped. Secondly, when you do place the skewers together, press them down directly onto each other and then move it to whatever position you need it in. This makes sure that you have glue all over that part of the skewer and it'll stick a lot better. As you guys know, I'm a mom, so sometimes you will see Scarlett or Joshua in my videos. So here I am done putting my shapes together. Once you're done putting the last piece on there, hold it together for a few seconds. It doesn't take very long to dry, but you do want to make sure that it dries before you move on to this next spot here. Here we're going to begin putting together the top part of the figure. This is one of my favorite parts because it's one of the most challenging parts. So I glue down 2 of the corners first. The reason I do this is because I want to make sure that I have it to where they meet evenly in the middle. Sometimes the very first time I tried to do this shape, it looked crazy. They were not even, so I found that putting 2 at the same time makes it a lot easier, as well as putting a little bit of glue to hold those together in position while I get the other 2 corners ready to get glued down. Now we are done with the top portion of our figure. We're going to move on to the bottom part. You're going to glue 2 of the bamboo skewers on the opposite corners. So add glue to one corner and then add glue to the one that's opposite to it. And then add 2 of the bamboo skewers. This is going to help guide you again to make sure that you are making an even shape and that they're meeting perfectly in the middle. If you do the corners that are side to side, it makes it a little bit harder to keep it symmetrical. So doing it this way makes it a lot easier. Once you add your final bamboo skewer, make sure that when you're pushing down, you're adding a little bit of pressure and you're not adding too much pressure to make sure that they stick. If you add too much pressure, then you can push past the corner, and as you can see there, and I have to push it back up. But if your glue is dried more than what mine was, you're going to have to completely remove it and add it back again. So when you're trying to get them to meet in the middle, it can be a little bit tricky. I struggle every once in a while, but if you just kind of hold them a little bit, let the glue dry. If you have to move them a little bit around, that's totally fine. but just be very careful that you're not adding too much pressure. You can always add a little bit more glue, so a little bit of glue does go a long way, in my opinion. So here is the final shape.